It is Wednesday, May 1st, 2024. This is the time is 6:30, and this is the West Bridgewater Board of Selectmen meeting. Before we stand for the pledge, I'd like to remind everybody that this meeting is being recorded for use on the internet and our local cable station. You could join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. All right, the first item on the agenda this evening is to open a public hearing, and I will read the notice. Pursuant to Chapter 138 and Chapter 140 of Massachusetts General Laws, a public hearing will be conducted on Wednesday, May 1st, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. in the Eldon F. Marrera Board of Selectmen Meeting Room, Town Hall, 65 North Main Street, West Bridgewater, Mass., on the application for a new wine and malt beverage license, on-premise liquor license for G&M Alkery Incorporated, DBA L'Odessa Restaurant, 757 West Center Street, West Bridgewater, Mass. Interested parties are invited to be present to be heard. Board of Selectmen, Jeff Ryan, Chair. So with that in mind, I need a vote first, just to open the hearing.
Yeah, Perez, yes.
Lee,
Ryan,
yes.
yes.
Lee, yes.
Lee, yes. Okay. Now the meeting's open. Thank you.
Hi everybody, Rob Pellegrini, attorney in Bridgewater. I'm here on behalf of the applicant.
Sure.
I was also here on behalf of the previous applicant with the same name. And I don't know how much you know about this, but they also had originally, way back when, got an expansion of time from the ZBA, but this current applicant is no longer doing that. So as you can see from the application, it's 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day except Sunday is 12 to 7. They haven't previously been licensed anywhere else. As you all know, it's a restaurant and a really good one. If you haven't tried Lebanese, I highly recommend it. Seating capacity is 46. That includes the outside patio and the inside. It's exactly the same as what was there before. The outside patio is completely enclosed. The only way to get there is through the inside. They have been very much acquainted with the rules and regulations of the Board of Health. They both have, I keep saying they, it's a husband and wife. The husband runs the corporation that runs the restaurant. The wife is going to be the manager of the license. So they have ServSafe. They have the lease, which was included with the application. Their corporate name is G&M Alkery Inc. Charbel, who's behind me, is 100% owner of the corporation. His wife just had a baby, so...
Oh, congratulations.
Well,
Congratulations.
yeah, so she couldn't be here tonight. So,
I guess the first standard question that we always ask after this is, do you have any questions about our liquor license and both our policies and anything?
no, they're very straightforward, and I've read through it with my client.
Okay. Marcy, Mike?
No, I think that was the question right there.
Okay.
Is if there's any questions on
Yeah.
any of the licensing requirements.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
because now's the time, right? And
Yeah,
better now than the next time.
absolutely.
So.
And they're just really picking up with where the previous owner
Yeah.
left off.
No, like Mike said earlier, I think it's a great restaurant. I've eaten there several times. I think
Thanks.
we all have. So,
Yeah, it's excellent.
so I have no issues. I don't. Any further discussion?
No?
Nothing further.
Make motion.
All right. At this time, I'll take a motion to approve the license.
I'll make the motion to approve the license.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Do we is roll call on that or just? Okay. So unanimous.
Thank
right.
you all.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Nice seeing all the new faces. I hate to date myself, but I remember when Eldon was here, and he had a grip. He would not, right? Am I right about that? He would not think to lean over and just grab you in between. He was a really cool guy. So, very much missed.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so at this moment, I need a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Thanks again, everyone.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Congratulations
Good luck.
on the license.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on the
Enjoy.
baby. All right, moving on to business on the agenda. Next up is the Memorial Day 2024 commemorative service, which is taking place on May 27th. We need to vote, I guess, on board rolls. Three sort of things there to be done: an address, laying of the wreath, and reading of the honor roll. And want to throw that out to discussion.
Absolutely. You want to kind of lead this off? I will. As you guys know, I have a lot of energy towards this. I'm part of this committee, and also being a veteran myself, I think that we should all do something for the event. I'd like to, if you guys would allow me to do the initial address, and then I would like to see all of us partake if we're all going to be there.
Mhm.
I think that would be really great for the Memorial Day for the town, and it'll be the first time all three of us are at an event together, which is going to be real cool. So the laying of the wreath and the reading of the honor roll. I'd just like to make the address,
Sure.
and then if you guys want to,
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this is whatever you as a veteran and a member of that committee wants it to be.
I second that.
And we'll do the rest, so.
yeah. I mean, I'd like to do the address, and then if you guys want to.
Marcy, I don't, either way.
I don't care. I'll rock, paper, scissors you.
So
Whichever. Honestly, Chairman, you pick.
I will, I'll take the leaf ring and spare everybody the
I appreciate
reading
that.
of the names.
I appreciate that.
Yes, I thought you might.
Okay. Looks like I am in for the honor roll.
So,
And,
All right.
and thank you guys for attending.
Of course.
I did put it out there, on my personal social media. I think that this is an awesome event for all ages, especially those that have young kids, because the event is that the ceremony itself is short, sweet, to the point, and it's outside. And for young children, I think it's important if they want to figure out what they want to do. I think it's great.
no, happy to be there, honored to be there.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
all right, we need a formal vote with that, right? We're just set.
We've captured it, so
Okay.
I have Mike doing the address, Marcy doing the honor roll, and Jeff doing the wreath.
Correct.
And we'll communicate that to the town clerk.
Thank you very much. All right, next is to vote to discuss the acceptance of Lamp Post Lane as a town road. Now, last meeting or meeting before, we voted in favor of it, to recommend it on the town warrant.
Mhm.
But this is more official, if you will. So I don't know if we have any discussion or not on this. Schematic is up, was up on the screen. It has been forwarded from the planning board. I was going to say building committee. I don't know why. From the planning board with their approval. And that's all. Any discussion?
I don't have any questions.
I have
no.
nothing.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to accept Lamp Post Lane as a town road.
I'll make the motion to accept Lamp Post Lane as a town road.
I'll second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And just so again, for the audience's edification, you're required by Mass General Law to take that vote, but obviously it's still subject to town meeting's approval on Monday night.
All right. Approve the meeting minutes of April 3rd.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of April 3rd, 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Accept the meeting minutes of April 17th for review.
I make a motion to accept the meeting minutes of April 17th, 2024 for review.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next on the agenda is a vote to approve a change order for the pickleball court construction.
Yeah, so where we're putting the pickleball courts is the old leaching field in where septic tanks were prior to them being moved over to where the current soccer fields are. And so there was still infrastructure from the old septic system, i.e. empty tanks, and some other infrastructure. As we started to construct, obviously there was no way we could know until we opened up the land, And once we did, they had to be filled and capped, so that created a change order. Originally, the quote came in at $22,000. I've placed that in your packet, so you see that. We've, through negotiation, we lowered it down to $18,000, so I'm looking for a vote from the board in reference to that.
Any additional discussion? Or any discussion on additional?
I have none.
No,
No?
no,
I look forward to these being completed at this point.
same.
All right. So I'm looking for a motion to approve the change order for the pickleball courts.
Make the motion to approve the change order for the pickleball courts.
Oh, second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to communications and reports from boards, commissions, and town officials. First on the agenda is we have a streetlight request for pole number 7 on Brooks Place.
So whenever a resident in town feels that they need to have or install a light at a light post, they have the ability to be able to contact the streetlight committee. If they don't know how to get in touch with them, they can go on the website or they can contact our office. It is this board that appoints that committee. You'll be doing that you do that every single year in the June time period. So this resident has reached out to the streetlight committee. The chair of that is our Sergeant Wes Reagan. And so they've looked at it and they've come to the conclusion that they are in agreement with the resident that we should add the light. So we do not pay to add the light. It is on an existing pole because we don't add poles. It's just on an existing pole. All we do as a town is pay for the electricity that powers the light at a future date. So based on public safety, they usually will make a recommendation yes or no. They're making a recommendation yes. It is ultimately the board's decision. I would ask you to take a vote. If the vote is yes, we then contact National Grid and ask them to install the light. If their vote is no, then we'll let the resident know that.
Okay. Any discussion?
I can't see any reason to not approve it.
Yeah, I gotta agree. If Sergeant Russell Regan has made the recommendation, I think that it's in the town's best interest to go ahead and make that approval.
All right.
Agreed.
Make a motion to accept streetlight request pole number 7 on Brooks Place.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Just checking. Next on the agenda is town gazebo dedication ceremony for June 18th of this year.
So this is really nice. We had a resident in town who unfortunately did pass away, but she left the town quite a bit of money. And so one of her requirements was that money would go towards the beautification of that area. And so that's what we've been doing. The DPW department's done a nice job. They've done some construction out there. They've been painting it. And so we will be looking to do a ceremony on June 18th to commemorate not only the resident Priscilla Fiore who left us the money, but also Judy Kinney, who was a select woman at the time that was instrumental in getting that work done initially, and also for 30 years, our retired DPW director who managed it, oversaw it, and maintained it. So on June 18th, there will be this dedication ceremony. And so it's an FYI to the board, and then 2, I think if a member of the board would be able to be willing to speak on behalf of the board, we will communicate that to the committee as well, so they'll be prepared.
So,
What day of the week is June 18th?
I just looked at it.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
I'm comfortable that I can be there, and you are all welcome to join, and we can divvy up whatever.
I'm going to be there as well, so yeah.
So we can definitely have somebody speak there. We might, as it gets closer, fine tune who that would be.
Okay.
And a thank you for doing that. Next is a vote to accept Jerry Lawrence's resignation from the Cultural Council.
Yep, so that just came in, just a vote it's one of your appointments. Jerry has chosen to resign effective immediately at the time of the letter, and so I'll just ask for a vote from the board to accept.
Vote to accept Jerry Lawrence's resignation from the Cultural Council. Make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I guess if I could add to that, I believe that's the last committee that Jerry's on in town.
Could be.
And either way, if we could send him a thank you, it would be great. Next on the agenda is a vote to accept Michael Perez's resignation from the school building committee. So this is this was something that somebody had to leave the school building committee because open meeting law prevents two of us from serving on any one committee. And prior to Marcy's election to this board, she was serving as the ADA coordinator on the school building committee. So both Mike and Marcy could not stay on that committee, as technically it would have required to be a board meeting. And that's just something that doesn't work for those purposes. So I don't, Mike, if you have anything you want to add.
No, it's exactly that. Marcy was already on the board when I came on, and we had made a decision. I had made a decision, and Marcy, before she became elected, that had she have won the election, that she would remain on the school building committee. So she's staying on, and I've removed myself from it. I will still pay attention and know what's going on because I have a lot of positive energy towards the school for our children. But yeah.
And I guess as I was trying to make a point of it was you're resigning for a technical reason,
Right.
Not an emotional or displeasing reason with the school building committee. So.
And I do appreciate that because I did request, as the ADA coordinator, I did request, I felt very strongly about being a member of that committee. So I requested to be a member of that committee, and I was kind of bummed when I wasn't going to be a member of that committee. So I do appreciate you resigning and allowing me to step in there. So thank you. So I will make the motion to accept Michael Perez's resignation from the school building committee.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next on the agenda, with that out of that motion in the past, a vote to appoint Marcy Lee to the school building committee. While you were on the school building committee, you were there as the ADA coordinator, and now you'll be appointed as the Board of Selectmen member. So, any discussion?
Make a motion. Make a motion to appoint Marcy Lee to the school building committee.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Awesome, thank you. Next is a vote to appoint Christopher Trudell, our town's ADA coordinator, to the Town Communication Committee. This is a position that Marcy held prior to, again, becoming elected to the board, and it's important that we have an ADA member on that committee. So I'm excited, as the chair of that, to add Chris to the group.
Same. I spoke to Chris earlier today. He wanted to be able to make it, but he, of course, has the new baby at home, and his wife is back to work. So he's doing, dad duties. So he was not able to make it, but he is very happy about, the appointment. So I am happy to make that motion to appoint Chris Trudell, the ADA coordinator, to the Town Communications Committee.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Next is correspondence from the public to determine a course of action. I have one item here. We received a letter yesterday from the Bylaw Study Committee, and it pertains to a warrant article that we have where we are looking to change the name of this committee from the Board of Selectmen to the Select Board. And there's some question, I guess, in this as to what the preferred process to make that change is. So at this time, I want to acknowledge this and say that we are working with town council to understand what the preferred method is from the state to move that forward. And that's sort of it at this point. So I just want to recognize we did receive the letter. We received the letter after the agenda was posted, so wanted to acknowledge it that way. Public comment period. We have 2 members of the public present. Anything? Hi. Waves?
No, I'm good.
All right. Nice to see you both here again. Moving along, town administrators report.
Yep, so the first 2 are just items of note, FYIs, for signing off on use of town property for their respective reasons. The last is that the board tasked me at the last meeting with potentially having a budget presentation at town meeting. So I'll just quickly go through it. There's a handful of slides, and we could just swipe pretty fast. It's just informing the town overall as to what the budget process is, and taking all the same numbers that are already in that book that has been, that goes to town meeting, and explaining to everybody as to what they are, where the money comes from, and most importantly, that it's a long, drawn-out, very thorough process that involves department heads, the Board of Selectmen, myself, the Finance Committee, and others who are involved. So that's what it is. It would take about 5 to 6 minutes in length. So this is, as requested by the board, I put it together. I sent it off to Jeff last week for his review, and then it was requested that I bring it back to the board so the board can make a final decision as to whether or not they would like a presentation to be done or not.
Discussion?
I would like the presentation to be done. I think it's going to help the residents understand, the process that we're going through at town meeting and the voting on the budgets.
No, I agree. I think some people go in there into town meeting maybe focused on one or two items, and if we can get the room to see a little bit more of the big picture and what the full increase is, and a little more discussion before we get into sort of the line-by-line voting, not that, or we get budget holds and things like that, and people are questioning lines. I think it's fair that we give them a good background as to where we're at as a town and where we currently stand. So,
I'm an efficiencies person. I just think it's a duplication of efforts, but I see what you guys are saying. It's an easier, smaller, more concise packet. So I see what you guys are saying.
I just
Makes
think
sense.
that a lot of the residents don't have the opportunity to be very familiar with the budgets and the process, and it's a good opportunity to educate them. I mean, there are a lot of people that'll be attending town meeting for the first time. There'll be a lot of people who are attending town meeting and didn't know this stuff prior to. They're going to leave with a little bit more information, I believe, so I'm in favor.
We'll see how it goes.
all right.
So I think what I'm hearing from the board is that it's more affirmative than negative. So we'll do it 2 items of note, if it's okay and acceptable with the board, is that once I make that presentation, I really don't want to take any questions on the budget per se. If somebody has a question about a slide, I get that. But, with your permission, I would respectfully decline answering any questions at that point, because that's what the budget's for. They're going to hold a budget and have a question, and I don't think it's right that I would be answering it in that. The second is that I couldn't talk to the moderator about this. I forwarded this presentation to him because that is per our bylaw I had to, but I have not discussed with him whether or not I make an actual budget presentation, because I need guidance from you first, which I've communicated to him. So my only point is I will be meeting with him over the next 48 hours, and ultimately it's his meeting. So I will let him know that you have taken this vote, and then it's really with his permission that I will be allowed to speak.
Super. Makes sense. All right. If there's nothing else on the agenda, then I would like to entertain a motion to enter into executive session, not to return to open session, for purposes of conducting strategy session for negotiations with non-union personnel, specifically the building commissioner, treasurer, vehicle maintenance superintendent, and the town administrator. And I need a roll call vote for this.
Perez, yes?
Lee, yes?
Ryan, yes. So, at this point, you guys have to leave. Yeah.